Okay, so yep, we're gonna use regular ChatGPT. And are you able to? Okay, you got talk to Mia. What's talk to Mia?
Oh, this one is it's gonna open up a whole new thing. I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to hear this. I don't do you have you played with Mia before?
No, is Mia is that as an attachment or is that a
Yeah, it is. It's actually an attachment. So
okay, all right.
there's an extension where you could talk into it, but you gotta I
Yeah.
gotta send it to you. But this
No,
thing
yeah,
right
no,
here,
I have
Mia,
heard of it. I thought it was something that was actually built in ChatGPT, but the attachments I've seen the different attachments. So
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
so instead of using Mia, it's do you ever use your because you have a is that a Windows, right? The just the Windows H button?
Yeah, I got a Windows.
Yeah, so if you do Windows H, because that'll also pull up your dictation feature.
And it's not for some reason. Or
Yeah, that's
are you
it.
talking about right here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so you can just talk to that. So you just click on that and you can talk to it and it'll do the same thing.
Oh, okay, okay. I didn't know that. Thank you for
Yep,
telling me
yep.
that.
Yeah, no worries. So the thing about the attachments, and you know, it's just the with the extensions, they open you up to things that that OpenAI doesn't necessarily protect against. Um, so that is why you're more into it to me, so you will be like safe. But a lot of my clients are like beginners, so they got to be careful on what they're clicking on.
Yeah,
You want to
downloading
always use
extensions and stuff.
the base features if you can. So
Right.
that's what this one is. All right. But you definitely got the right sentiment. You definitely want to talk to it here. So what we're going to do is if you can give the general overview of the type of course. I think you want to do a course or a book. Which one do you want to create?
I'll do a course. I think a
Okay,
course is
so let's do
cool.
a course. So you're going to give ChatGPT the information. Make sure that you let's give us the five framework of make sure you give your experts that you need. So you're going to need some course creators. You're going to need someone's good in whatever your particular subject matter is. You're going to need um, you know somebody who is good at I would say education as well. So you'll say you are an expert in, and then you'll say those keywords. So whatever keywords that you would need, that's like the
That's
first.
funny because it's funny. I actually always do the opposite of that, and it's not for any particular reason at all. So you're actually going to see me, I would say, struggle with this a little bit because I actually never approach it that way, and it's literally not for any particular reason. It might be because I play with GPT so much, and even then, I
Maybe, but just try
never
for this
like
one. For this one, just try it this way. Just for this particular exercise, just try because there's lots of different, and I want the people in this recording to know too. There's lots of different ways to use the model. This really is in different strategies. So you use the strategy that is best suited for your end use case, right? So for this end use case, I let's try this strategy. But this doesn't mean that you got to change how you always use,
right.
ChatGPT.
No, no, I'm
Yeah,
interested. I'm gonna just
yeah,
file,
yeah.
talk to it
So,
because
so, so
usually
I'm
I
gonna
just
go over
talk
the
to it. And
yeah, so I'm
what I
gonna
was
go over the 5 points on what you're gonna do first, and then you're gonna go ahead and do it. So the
So
first is going
when you say 5 points, are those referring to like the five sub chapters that I said earlier, or
nope. I'm gonna give you
focusing on?
five. There's five steps that I coach people on how to prompt, and it's a similar like it's the first one is persona, like the technical way is giving a persona, but the way that I explain it is you name your team of experts. So it's like the way that I coach people how to use ChatGPT. I tell them don't think of it like a computer. Think of it like you got a team of experts who's always around you 24/7. Because the first question that people have is, well, how can this help me? Like, how is ChatGPT helpful for me or large language models? And I just say, if you had a team of experts that was around you 24/7, how would they be helpful? And you're like, oh, they'd be really helpful. I would ask them for all kinds of stuff. Yeah. The only trick is you got to know a couple of rules. So let me show you the rules. So there's like 5 steps. The first one is name them every single time. Just name the experts that you need for that particular chat. So like whatever you're trying to solve for, step one is name your experts, right? So that's the first thing. So you'll say you're an expert in, and then you'll name all the things that you're an expert in for that particular thing.
Oh,
Yep. And then you're also going to say course creation and education and social media and I would say memory retention Because you want your students to remember, so you want to do it in a way that is actually going to make them remember it. That's good. If you can think of any other ones, you can put them in there, right? But the point of it is to know that it's more than just one expert. It's all the ones you need for what you're trying to do. So then the second rule is, the second step is introduce yourself. So you want to put all the things that you bring to the table. So you'll say, I am an expert automation. I have an automation company. I've been doing it for however many years. I usually like to say, like, the experience is important, like how long you've been doing a certain thing. So you give your capabilities.
How about that?
Excellent, excellent. So then that's your capabilities. Now you're going to talk about your the like where you fall short. And in your particular situation, right? So you'll say, I'm not an expert in creating courses. How many courses have you created in your life to completion? I've not created any courses before. I know how to use ChatGPT. I've done a lot of outlines, but I've never finished all the way. I don't know of any of the platforms, or I don't know of any of the tools. So you'll say all your limitations. That's the word I was looking for. All your limitations. And this is where you want to really get in there, like, and say the things, anything that you can think of that you might need, but you like have no idea. That's what's really, really great about this one. So we typically remember to put down what we can do, but we don't think about putting down what we can't. When that's usually what keeps us from actually getting to our goal, is the things that we can't do. Very good. Yep. Okay, cool. So that's step two. Now, step three is, what is the issue? So what you're trying to do. So you say, I want to build a course, or I would say, yeah, what we're trying to solve for. So step three is issue, or what you're trying to solve for. So, I want to build a course. I want the course to be a certain way. This is really good to think about the whys behind it. So like, why do you want to build a course? So you would put it, what that in there as well. Um, all that's good. So if you have your team of experts, they need all the information. They want to know the whys. It really helps when you're dealing with a team.
All right, I think that's it there.
Okay, that's good. So that's step three. So now step four is the goal. Okay. Now, people often ask her like, wait a second, didn't I just give the goal? No, 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 no. You gave what you were trying to do and why. The goal is actually on the other side, and what's in between is the sweet stuff. That is where ChatGPT or this AI revolution has embarked upon us. Because before now, a computer could not give you that cross that gap. You had to tell it how to do it. But now, because of the vast knowledge of ChatGPT, it'll tell you how to do it. But you got to be clear as to what that goal is, right? So, step 4 is what's the goal? What does great look like? So then you would say, what great looks like is, or the goal is for me to have a successful course and to have this many people from it, or to capture whatever that looks like to you. What does great look like for you from this course? It's not just about the course, it's something more than that, right? So you want to put that in what that looks like. I will say also step 4, and it doesn't have to be this particular one, but it's good to think about SMART goals. So like SMART means like specific, measurable, attainable,
Yeah.
yeah, and then trackable. So like numbers are good, like within 18 months, or having 100 people, trained, or 1,000 people, whatever. Numbers are good too. Like I said, maybe not for this one, but just in general, when you think about it, for step 4, numbers. This is where you would most likely place your numbers if you have numbers from a timeline standpoint.
What's the word? Oh, I think that's it, to be
Okay,
honest. I
cool.
really,
That's good. So then step 5 is what is the command, right? So you got to give ChatGPT a command. So you would say, give me a strategy, give me a chart, give me a table. For this one, whenever we're doing like a prompt like this, when we're setting it up, it's like almost always give me a strategy, right? So give me the strategy on how I'm able to achieve my goal. So when we set it up like this, step 1 is you want the strategy for how to get to overall. Then after we get that strategy, we'll be able to dial in better to what the outline looks like. But we want to see the full picture first on how this looks at the end, because the end goal is not to just have the course. The end goal is to have it like completely done, and someone actually learning from it. So that includes some marketing too is going to be in there. That includes some other stuff. We're not going to build all that out yet, but we're going to have a framework of it. We're going to take it from here, put it in a Word doc, put it into whatever your doc that you like is, and now we can start working on the outline so we can focus just on that. Once we have that, boom, now we expand that out until we get it finished. Then when we get it finished, then you're like, okay, whew, that was hard because you were thinking completely different subject. Now we got to go back to marketing. I don't got to start from scratch. I already did that before I even started. Now we take that and it's easy to expand it out. So that's why we do it in that way, so we don't lose any time, because that's what I see most with people who start getting real good ChatGPT is you lose. Sometimes you'll lose time messing around with it, and then not knowing that. Wait a second, I've been here for an hour and I didn't actually finish. So it might as well be entertainment. All right.
got you.
Oh, also, do you have Claude?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, take that. Let's put it in Claude as well. You have the paid version of Claude? Oh, you
No,
have the
I
paid
actually don't. I
version?
need to buy it later. I've been
Okay.
waiting till I finish some
Can
other
you give
projects till I play with it.
send me that, and then I will put it into Claude and I'll share
Okay,
my
okay.
to see what the difference of it looks like.
Where's how do I'm being slow real quick. Chat. Oh, my message is too long. I gotta send
Yeah,
it
so if
in.
you put it, if you can email it to me if you still have it. My email, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, I'll do this real quick. I'll just
Uh,
maybe like from right here.
oh, okay, you do a double. Yeah, that sounds good. Clever,
So
clever.
where did that go? I put wanting to.
Wanting to, yeah. Wanting
I
to.
think from right here is good.
Yeah.
It'll fix it regardless
It will
anyway.
fix it regardless, right? You don't even I do not even have to worry about it. Nice. All right. Okay. So let me grab this and that.
I'll stop sharing mine real quick. I'll see what Claude pops up.
Okay. You can see my screen.
Yeah, I can see.
Cool. All right. Yeah, just paste. All right, so we'll read Claude first and then we'll read ChatGPT's.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is a good plan. All righty. Copy that. And wait, I got probably have to do the same thing. Half and half. Half. Where's the chat box? I don't I don't see how I do it. Okay, let's see. Chat, paste, too long. I'm gonna have to send you an email. So I'll send you an email with it of what
Okay.
you say on that. Let's look at yours though. Let's look at your
Yeah, got you. Okay, it's right here. So get course and structure content,
Mhm.
focus on practical applications, fundamentals first, start with basics,
Cool.
diverse platform coverage since
All right,
since
so you got that piece of as far as doing it this way because this was like you said you don't typically do your prompts like this.
Mhm,
So the reason why we set it up this way is now you have this. Where I will go from here is now I would take that, like I said, put this in an outline, put this in like a document, a Word doc or whatever.
mhm.
So now you can come back to it later, and then we just focus on the outline. So now you would say, okay, let's do the outline. Um, and I would personally first um, use VoxScript to go online and search what the best. I will go online. So do you know how to call up within a chat, right? Do you ever use
Yeah,
that?
say that one more time.
Do you ever call up other GPTs within a chat? So let me
Oh
show
yeah, you're talking about like the app
that.
mention thing?
Yeah, like mentioned
Yeah.
in Vox. So
Hmm.
when mentioned like VoxScript, do you use VoxScript? What do you use to what do you use to go to like deep a deeper search if you're trying to use ChatGPT, like if you're trying to do a deep search from here?
So to be honest, I haven't used any GPTs particularly
Okay,
for
all right.
that.
Let's
And
do
I
that
was
real quick. So
yeah.
let's go to GPT store and let's grab VoxScript, VOX. And what this particular GPT, so with GPTs, with the like the ones that are not made by people like your like companies, um the ones that you use are just the ones that you make, right?
Yeah, I have some by some other companies for sure, but most of the ones that I use are ones that I make that are very kind of deep
Specific.
that go into that. Yeah. Well, I would say, in phases. So right now I'm trying to go with what are we using in our actual productivity and tools like that and stuff. And then I get to like doing the stuff like this, like the one example I showed with the GPT agents that will do advanced stuff
Yeah,
like
I saw.
that.
Yeah,
But right.
exactly with GP agents. Yeah. So specifically with just VoxScript though, the reason why I like it, you have to use it at least once. So just go ahead and pick one of those starters. The reason why I like to to use it is because the regular search is powered by Bing.
Bing, right? Yeah,
Yep.
it's just
And
query. It's just a query search, like in the parameters. It's
it's a
all
query source, right? And it's pretty weak. But VoxScript is a much strong one. It's a much stronger query search, and two, it's really good with YouTube. So from a YouTube standpoint, that's really its claim to fame. So you can
right.
grab, you give it the YouTube URL, and it'll grab the entire transcript. And then once you have the transcript there, now you can do anything because you have all of the data. Um,
Right.
so that's why it's great to be able to have it to where you can call it up because they're now your team of experts, they're like a general team, but you
Right.
can
Right.
specific experts, like for instance, hey, grab this video from Alex Hermosia he just dropped on business. Go ahead and grab that transcript. Now, how can I relate that lesson that he just taught to my business? And please give me 5 steps. So now, boom, you have Alex Hermosi's lesson incorporated into what you need to do. So that's why I like to use VoxScript. It's really good for them. Let's go back to your previous chat now. Now that we've used it, it's once you use it, it's in the call up. Now it's in your call up feature. So if you go to the automation core strategy, now you should be able to call it up. Yep. So now you can say, go online and grab the best, the like what I should do. What's the trends as to
Mhm.
how long my course should be, and the format of my course based off of what I'm trying to do.
I wonder if they're just using the YouTube API. Well, I'm sure they are. Well, it depends. There's a lot to use, but
So once it's finished here, then I just ask, this is so really I'm using this so it can grab the information, right? Once it grabs the information, it stores it in the chat. So then I'll go ahead and you can at any point you can use a different GPT or you can just cut this one off and you can just use regular ChatGPT. Regular ChatGPT runs in the background, so it really doesn't matter if you keep it on or not. But just we can you can always hit that X button if you don't want it on. But we have the
got it.
content now, so now I would say, okay, now that you've looked and see what's best to do, please give me an outline for my course based off of what I said.
I can't. There it goes.
Yep. So now this is our starting point, right? So this is where we start. People know you don't start with typically a person would just start with, give me a course for automation. No, this is now our starting point. So from here is where you can look and say, okay, what do I want? What do I not want? Because it has started at a much stronger base for you. So you're going to have a higher quality content. And the thing is, Tylan, you understand where we are now. So where we are now is we're in an age where anybody can generate anything off nothing. So
Right.
whenever you lower the barrier to entry, people are going to throw out nothing. It's going to be junk courses everywhere. It's going to be junk information everywhere because you can get it out, spit out so finely. But using this strategy, now you'll be able to get something that is like the only thing that's going to make a difference is people's actual experience and their actual
Right.
knowledge. That is the differentiator now is the actual knowledge and the data and the curation of that knowledge and data. So the recommendation would be you would go through here and then now you would the next step would be like, okay, which things do you want in it? Which things do you not want in it? Also, I recommend you can put this with Claude as well. Even the free version of Claude, put it with
Right.
like matter of fact, let's go ahead and do it now. Let's use the free version. So go ahead and grab this whole thing. And then you're gonna put 2 prompts in actually.
Why am I not son? Boy, this make me so mad. What does that say that's new down there? The app?
Oh yeah,
Y'all
the
know.
app.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about function callings. That's like they're actually about to give me a whole group of like credit. Oh my God, this thing is being retarded right now. Hold on.
Oh, okay. So they say you got it on a different account.
Yeah, I do got it under like my admin one that's gonna send me an email really quick when we go back. But yeah, I'm actually in talks with one of their people because they're about to give me a whole group of API credits and some other stuff. But I'm wanting to create actions basically inside of here. I'm trying to figure out how the fuck to do that because they don't have an interface for that. But I guess I'm gonna just try it in ChatGPT later.
They have there's some people in the group. You should message Ben in my group because he was I think he was doing some stuff with that with Claude.
Claude functions.
Yeah, yeah, him
Yeah,
and Jerry.
I
So
got because
Ben
I
and
got the
Jerry in the group, they are the ones that they deal with the actions and call outs. I don't deal with that as much.
okay.
They had posted some stuff in there.
All right, so
All right, so
coming
this is
back
what you're gonna
here.
post. So you're gonna put, of course, you'll put that one in there, but also you want to give it some context. So you will post your original prompt as well. So your original prompt gave
The
all that
first one.
information. Yep, and then you will give that, and then you will give, and then you're asking for a critique. And how I do the critiques. How I typically do the critiques is well, you can say I like to do it on a scale of 100. Some people like to do A through F, but it needs to be some type of scale on where it's at, and then so you put your first prompt in there. Now put the thing that ChatGPT the finished product. Yep. So you put that and say so, and before you send it, say here is my final product. Please critique it on a scale of, oh, you can say 1 to 10. 10 being the greatest, the best, and give reasons why. And there you go. Did they get the number?
Again, it said 9 out of 10.
Okay, good. All right, so it's good, like because Claude will tell you the truth. Sometimes it'll be like a 6. So, like, so I'll tell you the truth. But still, this is just the outline. You still gotta look at it and see if it's
Right.
really what you want, because you might want some things differently because it's about your experience too.
I want to ask something real quick. With this methodology that you have, and I know you said you have beginner people, but how come you haven't created this into a GPT?
So the truth of the matter is, it's only so many hours in a day. So I have incorporated in GPT, but the problem is not incorporating it. The problem is marketing, right? So that's the issue. Like it's the marketing of whatever we do. It's not to create. I create a lot of stuff, and you created stuff. Everybody's created stuff, different things. But it's actually the marketing, and the marketing comes with the one-on-ones. That's really the hard part. So that's what like people in our space, we will see more and more that like we are all excited and we see all the potential, but potential don't cause don't make the dollars,
The
right?
money.
How do you convert it? This is how you convert it, like in doing in these type of ways. So for me, Prism is we educate. So I had to focus on like, all right, well, stay to my core. So I just need to make sure that I am focusing on education of things. So I deal with the GPT to know how to do it, and now I understand the marketing, but educating, like for you, educating you on this, you're highly skilled different ways, but having this strategy is different. It's not about teaching you how to use it. It's just teaching you a strategy, and strategies everybody needs to use all kinds of different stuff. So,
Right. Yeah.
so
The reason I asked that, you make a good point. I'm very much in the GPT space, and the marketing is the hardest part, and it could be looked at in many different ways. And I was actually just having a conversation because this is going to be crazy to say, but I think we've been looking at, and this kind of goes in like monetizing our GPTs, right? Like that's the biggest thing. And I think we've been looking at that the wrong way. So recently on the OpenAI forum, basically one of the people that works for OpenAI basically was like, we're not building anything native, but we're supporting it through actions and, stuff like I've shown through the monetization. And it made me think like, because I was having another conversation, like that GPT video I have, right, with Airbase. And I'm like,
Mhm.
well, if you have the database, technically you can already basically monetize your GPT. So like in your case, the people who pay you for like the business accelerator, if you had a database, you would just connect that to the GPT with their information to do all those things and authorize them, if that makes sense. But people aren't thinking about it in that way. They're thinking about it as in a native way that the store is supposed to do it and all that. And I'm not even, that's a whole different conversation for OpenAI.
Mhm.
I'm saying what you can do right
Yeah,
now. Right now,
that's a unique idea. I didn't think about. For me,
right? If you're,
I make the GPT. It's a service that I get for my clients. So I
mm,
will make you a GPT because you don't know how to really.
right,
Right. So my clients are mostly more beginners. So I'll create it for them, no charge because they're learning and they're in the process and they're in their community. And
mm-hmm,
my idea is school. I'm going to have two different schools. So right now I'm doing the free one. And that one is my idea is to keep that going. And then there'll also be a paid one. And in the paid one are the people who already clients of mine.
right,
I'll be a monthly subscription. And for those that service, there will be to create GPT because as you know, I also have Verse Assist. So I've taught
right,
all my contractors how to create GPTs as well. So that's just going to be a service that we provide at no charge when you are currently with us. So
right,
that's
right.
I'm
Yeah.
going with the GPT approach.
Mm-hmm.
Because my GPTs are not going to be like yours. So that's why I'm like, I'm not going to be able to compete in that regard because,
Well,
yeah, yeah.
I would say you have a point in terms of actions and stuff. That's different, right? But just
Mhm.
kind of focusing on like the community you have for clients. So like I'm doing the same thing with with my paid community. Like everybody that's a client or has signed whatever form to be in there, I have a AI table database where I have all the information. So
Mhm.
now when I say like for coaching or doing whatever, when you go to that GPT, you will literally just log into the GPT and it'll have all that
Yeah,
information
I saw what you did
out
with the Airtable.
to
Yeah,
do all those things that we're talking about. You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I want to see once as you build that out more. I'm going to definitely be interested because you're right. It's everything on that Airtable that automatically took it there, and
It's there, right?
you
So
can
all I
just
have to say
update a
is
client's knowledge base, and that's
right.
huge.
And I yeah, and one more thing, I have another thing to actually show where I actually found out like with using like graph databases where you can actually have chat GPT remember specific things like a Airtable base, even though it's not connected. It's called like Neo 64, Neo G6. I don't know if you ever heard of it, but when I
Mm-hmm.
say it's mind blowing. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
literally in a GPT where I can say, hey, remember this. It has nothing to do with the memory, and it remembers it in their database. It can reference it. It can do all type of stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So
keep me
like I
updated
said,
on that.
when I was having this conversation, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, if I have all the information about, because like like you said, my GPTs are a little different. Like one extra thing that I'm going to do with my GPTs now, like for instance, I have an automation expert GPT where you go
Mm-hmm.
to it, it'll help you with automations. Now I'm creating a voice assistant where in that assistant, the GPT can say, "Hey, call me. I need more help," and it's going to call you and walk you through whatever it is and things like that. Along with still storing your information. Like I want the GPTs to be interactive in that way. So all my GPTs for sure will be able to have information about you if you're a client or you're in my database, and it'll be able to call you and walk you through whatever that GPT is supposed to do if you're stuck, documentation, all those things.
Yes, I'll definitely keep me updated on that. I definitely want to see that as you build it.
Mhm.
Okay, let's finish up here. So this,
Gotcha. Yeah.
so the last steps here is what I would say is now you, like I said, you'll go back and you'll look and see what you wanted in there. Let's go back to the outline piece for ChatGPT. Let's go into ChatGPT. So what I would do is when you actually take from like module one, module two, module three, like all these modules, you have lessons for each one. Let's say that you're like, yeah, this is great. This is what I want. You what I used to teach and what we used to do is you would just expand out this one, expand out that one, expand out this one. No, it's too much variation, and it's no longer your tone, it's no longer you, and now you'll feel more less and less like it's you producing it as opposed to AI producing it. And this is the meat that I was talking about. Like you don't want to go back and forth so much with it. So instead, what you do is you'll take like module, you do still want to do it section by section, So you'll take like module 1, lesson 1, and then you'll say, ask me questions for all these in module 1, lesson 1. And then you just, so first let's do that. So say, please ask me the questions so that I can dictate back my answers. And then from there, it'll clean it up. And that will be way more like you will feel like it's way more your you created that as opposed to AI creating it. So let's do it real time so you can see.
Like this, right? You said,
Yep, you'll say,
please.
yep, you'll say, please ask me questions so that I can give you the answers. And the point of it is so that we can create the thing. And for also go ahead and talk to it. So go ahead and use the no, just stop that.
Oh,
Wait, actually, yeah, this is right. That works. I didn't know you was typing when I was talking.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
that's good.
regenerate
So
this.
yeah, you can run it again. Run it again. I stopped it. Okay. So uh probably wouldn't, maybe not the introduction, because like the history and stuff, ChatGPT is
Got you,
good at
got you,
that.
got you.
Maybe you pick something that's more of a, you know, whatever you would feel
Maybe
like
this
you would
one right
want
here.
your more spin on, right? That's when you would that's what you would put your dictation on, because that's going to be the meat. ChatGPT is real good at basic beginner stuff. You can have whatever, but this is where you would want it to ask you questions. Because now it's like it's subject to interpretation. Like a lot of people, depending on who you are, you'll have a different direction on how you would start your workflow, like how you would do the process. So now, if you hit the um, Windows H and then go ahead and talk to it,
Say that
and
one more time.
Windows H,
Oh yeah.
and let's go ahead and see. Let's go ahead and try it real time and see what you get.
So you want me to get my answer to this question?
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Hold on. So I begin the process by understanding what the client actually wants to accomplish, and then I go look at whatever software platform they're using for the API documentation, and then I cross-reference that with whatever automation platform that the client is using if they have one. If they don't have one, then I immediately go inside of Mate if I am already not sure of which platform I'm integrating. When I can see that those endpoints are available, I have already mapped out the automation inside of my head. For example, if a client needs to have a intake form automated, I know that they are probably using a form plugin if they're using WordPress, or I'm going to have to use a webhook that's going to be able to send into the next platform to continue that automation.
Great. Don't send yet, because you got another question. So then you got, what are some key factors to consider? So you say some key factors to consider are,
But designing an automation. I gotta really think about that one because my answer is like, I swear I feel like that's not a question.
then
That
don't answer
sounds
it.
so.
So really, the truth of the matter is, like, if it's not something that you like, that's really making you want to spew out the thing, then go to the next one. What are some of the best practices you recommend for creating reliable and efficient automations?
Got you.
So then you would say some of the best practices that I feel like for automations are, and then you'll go.
So,
You got to put the cursor in the box for
oh,
all.
that's why it's okay. So some of the best practices that I think for automations are actually going inside of an automation platform, using a template to build an automation, look at that automation and understand it, and then add on to that automation. So, for example, you can create an automation that gives a summary about the email newsletters that you're subscribed to. And then you can build on to that automation by maybe sending it to another email that you want, or creating an automation where all of those emails that you favorite are put into a spreadsheet so you can create content on whatever it was that was in the newsletter so you can create your own affiliate marketing newsletter.
Great. Now go ahead and send it. And then this is a better process because you're going to be like, okay, wow, this really put it in like what I was saying. And it was based off that. And it did it in the right way. And all you did was talk. You
Got
didn't
you.
have to type. You didn't have to, you just going back and forth with your team of experts. Um, so cutting and pasting is really important. Once you have something that you really like, cut it and paste it and don't change it. That's another thing I like stamp on people. Don't change it. This is leaps and bounds better than it was going to be if you didn't have this technology. Don't be looking at this 20 times. It's good enough. Like it's good enough.
Right.
It's good enough. Put a deadline on yourself. Last thing I'll leave you with, put a deadline on yourself and believe yourself. Kobe Bryant taught us there are no negotiations with ourselves. Once we said we was going to do it, it's done. Now you have a tool to help you go ahead and keep that commitment to yourself. This is
Right.
how you build out a course, and you can do it a high level course in like under 6 hours. Doing this, and you don't have to do 6 hours in that day. You can do 2 hours one day and then 2 hours another. But it shouldn't take you weeks and weeks and weeks to do it, and you shouldn't keep it in ChatGPT.
Yep, for sure.
Any
I
questions for
appreciate
me,
it.
man?
Nah, I appreciate that strategy. Definitely gonna build on this. I might make a little GPT myself around this. I think I
Hey,
already
go
have
ahead.
one.
The information's out there.
Yeah.
I'm giving it out there.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
It's
Tylan. I
great.
do appreciate it, and we will
Yeah.
see each other soon.
No problem, boss man. I'll talk to you later. You have a good one. All right.
Adios.